Hey everyone. Thought we'd get started just a couple minutes early. Amy, I'm sure will be in just a little bit. Uh, I want to say hi to everyone. Sandra, Mom, Bama. Hope everyone's doing well. Sounds like we're having a concert somewhere out here. I keep hearing people banging on drums and playing guitars and stuff like that. So I don't know if you can hear that or not, but anyway, it's there. Okay, there's Amy.
Hello.
Hey.
I could have swore it said 4 minutes, so I went to go share it, and then I heard you start talking. I was like, oh no.
I started about a minute and a half early, but
Okay.
yeah, that's all right. I was getting on to say hi to everyone and all that, so I think I've got it right. Hey, Jenny. Hey, sis.
Hello, everyone.
Donnie the Traveler, how are you? So yeah, we got like people playing a concert or something. I thought it was actually somebody had maybe a big boom box or something going or whatever. I guess that's the old school boom box, but it actually sounds like people are actually on drums and guitars and stuff. And I thought, okay, so I didn't know we had a concert hall near us, so that's new to me. Anyway, so we'll get some more people in here in a couple minutes, and we want to have Amy share her experiences in the paranormal. Let's see. I think I've got everybody in the chat now. And I'm sorry to hear about Layla, Amy.
Thank you.
Your fur baby. Those are so important in our lives. I still miss Peaches, and it's been since December.
Yeah.
You don't get over it easily.
No, I don't think you can.
No, unfortunately.
I'm on the crossroads.
Okay. Good to see everyone tonight. I like this podcast thing. I like this, or whatever you want to call it. I like calling it a podcast because it's kind of in that form.
Yep.
All right. Well, I guess we'll get kind of started on some stuff. So, Amy, can you tell everybody how you got started in the paranormal?
Yeah.
And what got you into it?
Well, my family's always been really big into it. My grandfather was a dreamer, and my mom was also a dreamer. And so they kind of was in it their whole lives as well. Maybe, sorry. But I didn't start really getting into it until I was a teenager. And I started going into I guess you'd say the darker sides of it. I don't know, the Ouija board and, stuff like that. And I had some really bad experiences, but after that, I just kind of stuck to the going to like graveyards and stuff like that. But once Lainey started getting her gifts, that we noticed right away, I really got into it. And as the years went, we just loved going to places that were creepy and haunted and stuff like that. And we just enjoyed going and checking them out. And long after that, we found YouTube and decided to start recording these things because we never recorded them before. So we decided to start recording and make sure that we had the evidence on camera or pictures or video, audio, whatever we could do. And now it's just like constant. We constantly want to go and do and investigate. So
well, that's good because you've gone to some real cool places, and the Hill House being one. I'd love to see that someday myself. Goatman's Bridge. Where is probably your most let's say terrifying experience, or let's say put it this way, a place you will probably never go back to?
Well, for one, the Mountain House is definite. We won't ever go back to that place again. I believe there was a lot of satanic worship and stuff done there. And so we went into it with not very much knowledge about the place. It was kind of like an on the whim. One of our places had been torn down that we were going to. So we were just kind of looking for something else to go film while we were in that area. And we came across this place. We found some information about it, but not a lot. But it ended up being horrible. A lot of very negative energy there. And then we had a lot of negative things happening to us afterwards. At home, everything. And it took quite a while for that to just go away. You know, we ended up having to do the black salt ritual and stuff like that, just to get it to be gone. But we've even drove by it. We had James from Review from the Middle, and it looked like somebody was buying the place because looked like they were doing some stuff to it. And I was just, even on that road, I got the chills, and it was creeping me out the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, behind that place, good luck to them, whoever did that.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, Holly, how are you all tonight? So let's see. Another question. Okay. So what's your favorite equipment, or what do you like to use?
I really love the necrophonics. I use that a lot, but the ghost hunting tool is one of our main things. No matter where we're at, we use that. Even just sitting in our car, going down the road, we use it. And the grid light. I do love the grid light.
Yeah, the grid light's a fun thing. And if you don't know what those are, you can check them out. But Necrophonic app is it's kind of a what is it, like a satanic star is one of the symbols of it.
Yeah.
And then the ghost tool is a blue hand. So a lot of validation from both, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, it's good stuff. Go check them out if you haven't, and go check out all of Amy's videos too. By the way, guys. I'll get her link in here, or she can drop it if she likes to. If anybody's not subscribed, I think everybody might be, but there's Marnie. Let's see. Oh man, go ahead and share some more experiences of things, or maybe advice. Maybe that'd be a good thing to share next for people who are new.
Advice for people that are new.
Yeah, maybe they're trying out paranormal, or new to the paranormal or something.
The main one that I always say is try not to go alone. Mm-hmm. Because you never know what's going to be in the places that you're at. For one, you know, if you need, sorry, I lost my train of thought real quick. Cody had something fall. If you're by yourself, you not only may run into something negative or demonic, you could also run into somebody that's just there, a homeless person. A lot of times people do deals, and by that I mean like drug deals and stuff like that, in a lot of these abandoned places that are off the grid. So you may run into people like that, and you always want to have somebody there that can, you know, help. We always have Cody right there near us. You may be in the truck, but we have walkie-talkies, and we check in on each other constantly. But also go in protected, not just like gun-wise or knife-wise or anything like that, but go in with your crystals, your sage, whatever it is you use or believe works for you. Always go in protected and say your prayers before and after. Make sure you let everything know not to follow you home, that they need to stay there. And everybody does everything kind of different, but that's just the way we do it. And so far it's worked for us. There's a couple times it hasn't, but that was our own bad. You know, we broke some of our own rules and ended up having things happen. So.
Oh yeah. And that actually happened to Amy, and she can, if you don't mind, to tell you a story about it, but she had, I believe it was Cowboy from the Hill House follow him home. And that's just picking up just a what was it, a little card or like a greeting card?
Yeah. It was a business card.
Yeah.
They have a little area right there in the front as you go in through the doors. And a lot of teams that come in there, they'll leave their business cards and stuff like that. Well, I had noticed that a lot of them were not far from us. And so I started collecting business cards. And I was like, well, I'm going to try to reach out to these people. And, and it never dawned on me. That's one of our main rules. Do not ever take anything from a place, even if it's an abandoned place. We do not take anything from it. And I broke that rule by taking them business cards, and that's all it took. And we did. We ended up having Cowboy follow us home, and he caused a lot of ruckus before he decided he was ready to cross over. But yeah,
that took a while to get him to go too, because I remember it was like ongoing week after week. You were still having investigations, and they were still popping up with Cowboy there. So
yeah,
and that the good thing about that was you didn't have any. You were never harmed, right? I mean, as far as nobody was ever really hurt badly or anything.
Never physically touched or hurt by him. It was more of an emotional, like a mental game. So apparently he doesn't like women. So he really did take a toll on me and Laney's mental aspects of it, and he had us going at each other left and right. Me and Laney, we may argue, but it only lasts like 10 seconds because we both start laughing. So for that couple of weeks, it was horrible.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Well, thank you, Jenny. Appreciate that. And hey, Cody, I meant to say, I don't think I said hi to
Cody.
you. So the Hill House thing too is another thing. I mean, I watched several videos. I remember April was up here with us, and you were doing a live stream, and you guys. It's not the first time it's happened, but you played against a Cowboy or some spirit there.
Yes.
And you've gotten the 666 in the playing cards more than once.
Yes, we've gotten it every single time we've went there. And a lot of people, it still freaks us out to this day. Every time we get it, it freaks us out so bad we want to just take off running. And it shouldn't shock us anymore. It really shouldn't. But, we've even gotten it while James is there. The night James was with us, we got it twice. Once upstairs, and then we decided to try it downstairs, and we ended up getting it downstairs as well. But yeah, we get it every single time. And so this time I decided to bring my own deck, brand new. And I wanted to make sure that I opened it on camera, that I shuffled them on camera. We had the live stream going behind us, and then we had the camera going in front of us. And we got it twice that night, back to back. Once with the cards that were already there, and once with the brand new deck that we had just brought and opened up there.
Yeah. That's I remember that live stream when we were watching it that night, and I said, "Oh my God!" And I knew Lainey had she was like freaked completely out, and I would be too. If that's my first experience, I definitely would have been. But golly, I mean, that Hill House is a place. If you hadn't seen our videos on Hill House, please go back and just watch them. They get all kinds of things going on. That place is haunted.
Yes, very much so.
It's a very nice place too, I think, as far as old, if you like old nostalgic type stuff.
Oh,
yeah, it's good for that too. Let's see, what's another place that you would like to go that you've not been to, or you can name many if you want.
A place I'd like to go that I've not been to. There is a hospital a couple hours away from us called the Nazareth.
Okay.
It used to be, the basement part of it was the mental asylum part of it. But they also did cremations and stuff like that there. And the building's been used for so many. It was a hospital ran by the nuns by the Catholic Church. And it kind of changed throughout the years, but it's in a part of the town that's called Crazy Horse. It's there was a lot of crazy people there. He has a name, but it's the mineral water that's supposed to be there. A lot of people came in from all over thinking that this mineral water was going to help them. It was going to heal them.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was a lot of people there that ended up dying and stuff like that. But the hospital has a very haunted past, and we almost got into it. We were a weekend away. We had 1 week before we were supposed to go in.
Mm-hmm.
And another team had went in the couple of nights before we were supposed to go. And one of the investigators ended up having a massive heart attack and passed away there.
Oh,
so they have shut it down for the rest of the year. But from what I've seen of a couple of other people's videos that's been there and what I felt myself when we did a tour of it, that place is extremely active. And ever since I walked through that place, I wanted to go back so bad.
Oh, I bet so.
That's definitely on the top of our list that's in our area.
Mm-hmm. And as far as like heart attacks and stuff, I mean, it's not necessarily linked to the place. The guy could just been in bad health or something, but that's something Amy and I both will tell people: just be careful and make sure that if you feel any negative spirits, run from, or get away from it for sure, because you never know what they may try to do to you.
Exactly.
Luckily, I've never had that bad of experience. I didn't got sick in my stomach, but. Yeah, that would make me not want to go there for a while, for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I know you want to hit other places up, like I'm sure Waverly Hills and places like that too.
Oh, yeah.
Where would be a place you would want to investigate that you may not be able to, or a place that they may not allow it, but if they ever did, you would definitely go?
Well, for one, and I think this is a lot of people's answers, I would love to investigate at the White House. I could just imagine if those walls could talk, just the walls alone, but spirits, what you might hear, and I think that's one reason why it would definitely never happen. But one thing I would love to have done is I would love to be locked down. Not just me, because I would have to have a team or something with me because I would not want to be there by myself. But I would love to be down at Alcatraz.
Oh yeah,
that is like my all-time. Definitely want to go, but I don't want to go on a tour, and see it that way. If that makes sense. And I don't want to be like part of a group investigation. Stuff like that, because you really can't get a whole lot that I would love to be in there, locked in, and just have the run of the place.
Right. Oh yeah, that'd be real nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind like what is it? Like Hell's Bars Dam, places like that, Brushy Mountain. They do let you do both, but they do give you that tour. I know what you're saying. I don't mind like a security guard being there or something, which is fine. But stay out of our way.
Exactly.
Go there in your booth and let me know if you see a spirit running around the cameras or something.
Yeah. Oh, Jenny, yes. If I could go and investigate at Ed and Lorraine Warren's museum, that I would be done right then. Like that would have conquered everything that I ever wanted to do in paranormal investigating.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I have a ton of respect for those two.
Yes.
Wonderful. And I think Omar not long ago went up to where they were buried.
Yeah.
The gravesite, but he's not. I don't think he's ever went in to the museum.
No, they have parked beside their house, and done like necrophonics and stuff like that. But they've never been allowed to go in. There has been some YouTubers that have been allowed to go in. And film, and they got to meet Annabelle, but that would be like a dream.
Yeah. Give me, if you say you can give me 3 hours, 4 hours in there, and that's all, I'll take it. I don't have to have the whole night. Just give me some time to get set up and talk to spirit.
Exactly.
And if anybody has any questions for Amy, please comment. We'll be taking questions throughout the event. So yeah, Ed and Lorraine one would be wonderful. Let's see. How about a cemetery that you've never been to that you would like to investigate? Is there one out there you'd like to really check out?
Gettysburg.
No. Yeah, definitely.
I don't even have to think about that one. Gettysburg. I would love. I've seen so many pictures and so many videos, and a lot of these channels aren't even 100 subscribers. So, and they're getting amazing evidence there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've seen all kinds of just like apparitions being called and stuff. Oh yeah, it's very, very active up there.
Yeah.
Let's see, Jenny says, "Have you ever been scared on an investigation?"
Oh yeah, yeah. I can say me and Lainey are pretty brave. But there's been the Mountain House I was scared at. The last time we went to the Hill House, the final part of our investigation scared the crap out of me. And the Denver Cemetery scares me immensely, but I want to go back. There's not much as far as the paranormal stuff that does scare us. And so when we do find a place like that, it kind of piques our interest of like, why is it scaring us and stuff. The Mountain House, no, that's a done deal. That's a never again. But those definitely scare me. And then the last Brown Springs trip that we went on, that scared me, but I was in fear of one of the big tigers. Because we didn't know if it was a big tiger, if it was a Bigfoot, if it was a spirit or what. So it did scare me. Me and Lainey both were scared. We held our own, but I was shaking from the inside out. So yeah, we if we do get scared a lot, sometimes we can control it and we can hide it. That night there was no hiding that.
Okay, sis. Let's see. Bama says, "What was your very first paranormal investigation?" Did you mean maybe it means like on YouTube, possibly? I'm not sure.
On YouTube, our very first one was at the Parallel Forest. No. Sorry, was the Goatman's Bridge. We had been looking for something to do around this area. And we had been going up to Oklahoma and stuff like that, doing investigations up there. But we wanted to kind of get some Texas investigations in. And whenever I started researching it, we decided, that looks like a really cool place to go. And then we found what's their names? Ghost Adventures had been there. And I thought, well, if a big TV show like that highlights the Goatman's Bridge, there's got to be something there. And so we decided to make that our very first investigation for YouTube.
Yeah, that's a good idea because that place is very creepy from what I've seen, and I can understand that being your first for sure.
Yeah, and it never fails. Like we can go out there 100 times and we get something different every time. So it is a nice place to go to, other than it's so touristy now. Ever since Ghost Adventures went there, it is like every teenage boy's dream to take his girlfriend out there and scare the crap out of her for some odd reason. So yeah, you do have to fight a lot of that stuff, but when you can get there at the right times, you can get a lot of really good evidence.
Right. And they went on deep into the woods, didn't they? And I vaguely remember that episode of theirs, but yeah, I do remember them going there for sure. And here's a question I have. Okay, of all the TV shows, like Ghost Adventures, if they say you can pick one show to be on, what show would that be on? Would you be on?
Wow. Wow. That's a good question. Wow. Now,
there's a lot of good channels. People
as far as all the ghost hunting shows,
Mhm.
I mean, I like them all because they do take you and let you see a lot of these really cool places.
Mhm.
Um, I think if I had to choose, it would have to be Ghost Adventures because I would want to go investigate his museum.
Yeah.
And now, do they have to be on there with us?
I guess if they, I guess what I was asking, well, maybe this way, yeah, if you could go investigate with them, like they're going to take you,
Okay.
and you can pick the spot you want to go, and they're going to investigate with you. And I guess it would be the museum in your case. You probably
Yeah.
want to do that.
Yeah. I would definitely want to go investigate the museum. So I guess I'd still have to pick Ghost Adventures.
Oh, cool. I don't blame you. I think they're good. I like well, I like Ghost Nation. I think they're going to be Ghost Hunters again. I think they're changing the name back.
Yeah.
But, I really like those guys too. Yeah, they're good stuff for sure out there. All kinds of different things.
There's so many out there now that I don't even know who all, like, what shows are out there anymore because I don't hardly watch TV anymore.
Uh-huh. Oh, there's a lot. There's one that's in Tennessee called the Tennessee Raid Chasers. They're pretty good too. But I don't know if they've done anything lately. But I liked a lot of their stuff. Jenny said, "What inspired you to start investigating paranormal?"
My curiosity. Like I said, I've grown up with it my whole life, but I wasn't really like into it at first. I knew it was real. I knew things happened. I'd had my own experiences. But when Lainey, she started showing like major gifts, even at the age of 2. And so that like really piqued my interest in the paranormal, and I started researching a lot of stuff. And the more I researched about her, the more I got into it, and that's all she wrote. Become addicted very fast.
Absolutely. Hey, Devil's Rejects, how are you?
Hello.
Let's see. I know there was another. Let's see. I saw somewhere. I'm having to scroll back. Mama says, "What time of the year seems to be more active in your opinion?" That's a good question, right there.
That is a very good question. And honestly, I can't answer that because we get about, the same activity all throughout the year.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people say that Halloween and stuff like that, you're going to get more stuff. And we haven't found that to be true.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like the night and the day. We get just as much during the day as we do at night. So I don't know. I think it mainly just depends on the place, not the time of year.
Mm-hmm. I guess one of the things that we've talked about this before in the past, one thing that does help paranormal is like a river or a creek or rain, thunderstorms. Those things were because I know the other night we had bad thunderstorms Monday night, and Michael kept. I mean, he lit this whole room up. I can't tell you how many times that night after that thunderstorm. But
Yeah.
I mean, I think those things can help. But as far as time of the year, I'm like you. I'm not really sure if there's any one time of year is stronger than the other.
I will say the moon does help a lot. Different phases of the moon, full moon definitely. But I think that's more of like an energy thing. Same with the water and everything else. It just, I think that plays a part in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does. And like you said too about Halloween, I mean, I've been to Hell's Bridge at Halloween. It's no more active up there than it is when I go throughout the year. And I'm like you. I think it can be just. I think here's my thing. It's a luck of the draw. Really.
Exactly.
Sure, because I mean, you may go to a place that's Amy could go to a place tomorrow and get tons of activity. I go the next day, and I won't get maybe very little to nothing. So I mean, that has a lot. And then sometimes spirits are attracted to different people. Kids may be more attracted to women, or things like that. So there's there's variables that go on there.
Right.
Let's see. Let's make sure I haven't missed a question. I did have another one, and I forgot what it was. We got on to other things, but so it had to do with Spring Hill Cemetery, and that Omar's visited several times. I believe it's extremely haunted. Would that be a place you would definitely like to go check out?
I would, and I've definitely seen a lot of his videos there, but I've seen a lot of newer people go in there recently.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot of people that I really do respect, you know, and they're not going to be ones to go into a place and be like, oh yeah, this is definitely haunted.
Mm-hmm.
They went into it with the thought that, okay, these people made this place famous because of their channels or because of this, and they were blown away by the amount of activity and the energy that's there just walking into the place. So yeah, it's definitely a place I want to go look. I want to go investigate.
Yeah, and I would love to check it out too. Jenny says, who would you like to collab with that you haven't?
Oh, there's so many people. So many people. I haven't got to collab with Troy and Marnie yet. I haven't got to collab with a lot of people that I want to. We love collabing with people, so if we get the chance to collab with any of you, we would be happy.
Absolutely. It'd be great. For sure. I would love that. Bama says, do you feel parts of the U.S. seem more haunted than other areas?
Well, I've only been to so many parts, but I have kind of noticed that is true in some ways, and there's a lot of factors that weigh into that too, because I've been recently getting into the whole ley lines thing and stuff like that, and I believe that some towns, like, they produce lots of minerals, or they have a lot of mines and stuff in them. And I believe that a lot of those places are more active just because of the energy sources that are around them. So yeah, I do think that some parts may be more haunted than others, or not more haunted, but they're more active because of the energy sources that they produce.
Right.
If that makes any sense at all. I know what I want to say in my head, but it usually doesn't come out that way, but yeah, I think different parts of the U.S. have different sources, and they can make it more active.
Yeah, and I agree, and I think those ley line situations are, the more I try to learn about them, it seems like there is just energy sources that run through that. So yeah, I could see that being like certain places being more active than others.
Yeah.
Devil's Reject says, what's the best location you've ever visited?
Activity wise, I've got to say the Hill House. The Hill House has had the most activity for us, definitely. But as far as the places itself, I think the Concho School in Oklahoma was probably one of the best places we've been to.
Yeah. Jenny says, what are ley lines?
I had to ask that too, Jenny, so don't feel bad. But it is how do you explain this?
It's supposed to be like, from what I understand, I've not done a lot of research on it. I mean, I've done a little bit, but I'm not going really in depth. But it seems like it's like energy that pulls through, kind of like power lines, I guess.
Yeah. But it's from like way back.
Yeah. So you got energy sources that's attached to the earth as opposed to a phone pole. But yeah, it's about knocked over.
They believe that the people from way back used the energy sources from these ley lines. It's definitely look it up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Morning's invisible lines. It is. Yeah.
Yeah, it is, and so like you don't necessarily know where they all are,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just a theory that's yeah.
Let's see. Let me scroll back up here. My phone's gotten slow. Celia says, "Do you no wait a minute. You do any extensive research before you go into places or go in blind to see what you get?"
We definitely do our research, and the reason I do like the idea of going in blind and just getting what you get and then coming back and then doing research later. But with Lainey being as sensitive as she is, I kind of want to know what we're going into. If there's been a lot of satanic activity, I want to know what to take with us. Just because she's been attacked so many times. So we try to do as much research as possible. There are a few places like the Mountain House, and that messed us up bad because we were basically going into that blind. Brown Springs, we kind of went into blind, and we didn't know that we were going to get yelled at by 500 men telling us we shouldn't have went up there by ourselves. So we definitely do our research now, or try to get as much as we can anyway.
Here's a good question. It's something I've thought of doing before too. I don't know when I'll do this, but have you ever thought about doing like a blog or something like that and telling about your experiences, and especially in places it's not really known, like for here we had the Civil War Cemetery, Newton came. It's not really talked about being haunted. But have you ever thought about doing that right now, like something you've gone to that's not really known to be haunted, but you've had some experiences?
We actually have thought about doing an actual What the Paranormal website, to where we could have like blogs on there and pictures and stuff like that. Because I've heard a lot of people doing it now, and I actually love going and reading a lot of those blogs of places that I've never been and reading people's accounts on it. So we have definitely thought about it. And as soon as I get done with the catering company and stuff and I have more time, we're definitely going to be looking into that.
Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah, I've thought about that too myself. I think it'd be good for, younger generations when they come up, they can say, oh, that place was haunted because they did, investigate. It just gives some people something else to try to look at too.
Right. Because a lot of places that you do go to, there is no information on. And what information is there, it's, you might as well be going in blind. The Mountain House had just a little bit of info. The Brown Springs had just like a couple of stories on it. Now it's got thousands, but back then it didn't hardly have anything.
Right.
I think that is a good idea to where, especially these places that aren't filmed a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Marnie found the Newton Academy and said, why don't you just go there and see what happens? Well, that's where we got the fidget spinner you now have. The Batman when it moved. It's the only place it ever moved. So I never really found anything on it and said, oh, we've gone there, it's haunted, blah, blah, blah. But we went there and I love going back. I go back there several times. Let's see, Devil's Reject says, anything ever attached itself to you? Are you dealing with any attachments currently?
We have had a couple of things attached. Lainey has been affected a couple of times, and we both were affected by the Hill House, the cowboy. I don't think he necessarily attached. I think he just was playing mind games. But as far as Lainey's attachment, yeah, she was having severe nightmares. She was up for almost 2 weeks without sleeping hardly. And she was just having like vivid visions, and just it got bad. We had to end up doing the salt rituals and all that just to get it away from her. And it took several weeks.
Yeah, and if you go back and look at their live streams that they did, Cowboy would really mess with things a lot. I mean, you wasn't he like messing with the closet door, and I mean,
oh yeah, he messed with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, messing with all kinds of stuff, and they were having problems at it and all that out of it. So yeah, go back and check that out. Devil Reject says, "Have you ever investigated any known battlefields?"
Yes. Well, we have investigated in Spanish Fort. Here it's where part of the Spanish War took place. That's about 15 minutes from my house. And now it's basically just a ghost town. But we have investigated the cemetery there. And we've investigated the school there. And that's basically in an old house that was still standing there. But everything else is houses that have just been built out there in the country that people have bought and put on their land. But we have done that, and it's not a huge area. That's why I really want to get to Gettysburg, but that's the only one really that we've done so far.
Well, I like the Alamo. I know you've been there, but
yes, been to the Alamo, but have not investigated there. We went to the San Jose mission while we were there, and stuff. But in the San Jose mission, I did not do an investigation, but I kind of did an investigation by accident. So you'll see in the video the part that I'm talking about. But that place right there, the energy was amazing. Like, I did not feel scared at any point in time while I was there. Never felt any negative energy. I felt very emotional, but it was more like happy emotion. I felt like I wanted to cry several times being in that place, but it was never like a negative feeling. It was always felt like there was a tight-knit community there. It was just out of this world, the feelings that I got while I was there. And I don't usually get feelings like that. If I do get any feelings, they're usually negative. And so to be overwhelmed by that kind of emotion, it was amazing.
Yeah, that I like good vibes and stuff. Like me and you are same when it comes to feeling things and stuff. And I'm like you. When I go to certain places, I have to shut that off because I know I want to catch everything from sadness to happiness to whatever. Yeah. It'll wear you out.
Yeah, I know what Lady feels like now when she goes to places like that, because I have been feeling a little more than normal, but at least mine was happiness and stuff like that. I can't even imagine what it would be like to go in and have the feeling she normally gets.
Right. Yeah, and she's seeing things, and I mean that's got to be draining on her for sure. That's the way it is with my daughter Caitlin. She's like that. She'll see things, and she saw an apparition. The lady in the apartment building we do over at Mom's, and she looked very, very sad. And that kind of wore on Caitlin for a little bit. So yeah, that is so tough. I know it is for those girls. Bama says, "Have you and Lainey ever investigated a location that you felt drained the whole time?"
There's been a couple of places that we have. I know the Concho School, that place you come out of, you are kind of drained. It's hard to explain because it's more like a confusion. Because that place is kind of like a maze anyway, but you can go in or go out one door, go into a totally different building, and then be back in the same exact hallway you just left.
Oh Lord!
And so it's, I think it messes with your mind a lot. So yeah, it does drain you completely. By the time we leave there, I know every single time we've left there, I've slept all the way home, and then wanted to sleep for days after. So the contract school, I definitely felt that way.
Yeah, that if it's drained you that much, the spirits are just trying their best to feed off of you, and that's something else I know that me and you talked about before. Just you got to not let them do that.
Mm-hmm.
People feel so drained for days. I know exactly what you're saying for sure.
Yeah.
What kind of a piece of equipment would you like to get that you don't own?
I definitely want to get a thermal cam.
Oh yeah.
And I want to get my night vision back again, but better than what I had before. But I think those are the two main ones that I want to get. Right now is the thermal camera and night vision.
Those would be good to have for sure. Let's see. Have you used the ghost tube before?
Mm-hmm.
Besides the ghost tool and necrophonics, what other would you recommend for someone starting out? Because it seems like apps are good for people who are starting out. They can't just go to the ghostshop.com and pick up things. And
yeah,
it's a little easy. Maybe pay $2 or $3.99 for something. What would you recommend other than those things we've talked about?
Well, they do have a good SB7 on there. That's, I mean, it's not going to be as good as the real thing, but they do have one on there that's almost exactly like the SB7, and you just type in SB7 and it brings it up. The ghost tube I have used and I liked the SLS. But other than that, I really haven't tried a whole lot of apps. My husband's been playing around with the thermal camera ones and stuff on there, and some are okay and some are not.
Mm-hmm.
But the main ones that I use is necrophonics and ghost detector and the ghost tube. But I think those three right there are your best bet if you're going to do an investigation, because, and I can say guaranteed to work because it works for me.
Mm-hmm.
It may not work for everyone else, but for me, those are the three that I can completely without a doubt say I have gotten amazing evidence and confirmation with. Right. Validation with.
Devil Reject says, have you ever had any luck with dowsing rods? Have you ever tried those?
I have tried dowsing rods. I love watching them be used. I've seen some amazing things with them. However, I believe dowsing rods, I think they kind of choose you. Me and Lainey both have tried, and our hands just shake too much, and I don't think we're meant for them. And I've seen other people pick them up and tell them, move to the right, move to the left. And I can clearly see they're not moving their hands at all. And they work perfect. Me and Lainey never had any luck, but I do love watching them be used. Dowsing rods.
And then, I know there's people who will manipulate them themselves. I've seen that, but there's people, if they keep those thumbs down and it's just straight out and it's moving back and forth and their hands are not moving, that's the validation you're looking for.
Yeah.
And I've never tried dowsing rods. I've never gave that a shot. Jenny says, what piece of equipment do you, I guess besides what we talked about, other than like cameras and stuff, like maybe she means like K2s and things like that, possibly.
I definitely want a REM pod. And let's see, what other equipment have we talked about getting?
An Ovilus.
An Ovilus, yeah. I would love to have an Ovilus.
I can't find them.
They are very hard to find, and they're still as high as they used to be.
Man, they are expensive. Is that the one where the Paranormal Puck works with it too? Am I thinking of another?
I think it does work with that. Doesn't the Paranormal Puck? It works with the Ovilus.
What? I didn't know what you just
said. The Paranormal Puck. It works with the Ovilus, right? I think so. I think it does, but I think it also works with some other stuff too. But, I know I've seen a few of my friends, HPD and all them. They use the Generation 3, and they usually get some really good responses from them. But the Generation 3 is still as high as the new generations. They're like iPhones; they get one every year. So,
well, I've seen, and like I said, I think there's only maybe a couple of places that sell them. I mean, sometimes they'll take you to Amazon, but there's nothing there.
Yeah.
So, and Ghost is saying, I always think I shop there and the Ghost shop, but those are the two places that I get a lot of the equipment from, but I've not seen the puck or obviously the one. So it's hard to find, but if you can get one, guys,
yeah,
I love it too. It is good stuff.
Hi, Troy.
Hey, Laney, how are you, dear?
I'm good. Tired. Frustrated.
her phone's messing up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I've been working on it for so many hours now.
They're not as smart as they say they are, you know?
I know. All right. Well, love you. I'm going to let y'all get back to it.
Love you too, Laney. Let's see. Anybody else have any questions you'd like to ask? Let's see. Bama says, use tarot cards in the past. Very effective. Do you feel cards can pick the user and owner? You've done some of those before.
Yes, I do believe that. I have several decks of cards that I use. And I actually have the original tarot deck. However, I do not use those because I'm still learning them.
Mm-hmm.
The other ones I picked up really quick. But the tarot deck, and there's another deck that I have that I just can't seem to get down. So I do believe that the decks that people use are ones that they're either full of bull or that the deck has chose them, because I can go on line on Amazon or anywhere else and start looking for decks, and there's some beautiful decks and stuff, but I just don't feel connected to them.
Right.
And I kind of wait until that one deck where I feel like, I don't know, it's weird because I do feel a connection to them, and so those are the ones that I've gotten. And the tarot deck was actually bought for me, and I've tried and tried and tried, and I still I can't get it. So I will not read them to anyone until I know for sure that I understand them myself.
Yeah, I don't know. Marty has a deck of, I believe it's tarot too, but I've never really looked at them or gotten paid any attention to them. But
right,
yeah, Vodka says definitely always run my hands over them, feel which one speaks to me, and purchase the new deck.
Exactly.
If that's how you understand it, yeah, that's great. I don't know it, but let's see if I missed any other question. Anybody else have a question? Definitely go check out Amy's page, Laney and Cody. They're all fun. Cody has an Uber service now that he'll get you there whenever the hell he gets you there.
He is that.
They got T-shirts and stuff, so yeah,
yes,
check that out.
Oh,
that's great.
He feels part of the team now.
Yeah. He has his comedy part of it, yeah.
He definitely is.
You need to get. Let's see. What was I going to say? Oh, you're like Corbin did, like have a comedy skits and stuff with him.
Yeah, I have Gertrude already. I have a feeling that the Uber service is going to eventually make his way there with her. So, yeah, he's taking it to a whole nother level.
Oh, what? That's fun. That's great stuff. Let's see. Bama says, just haven't found one that's right for myself. I really miss the deck I had. I'm sure you'll figure it out, Bama. There'll be something you'll get out there for sure. I guarantee it. So, Amy, what do you have coming up?
Well, we still have the investigation from Brown Springs that I still have to post. And then we've got a couple of videos from San Antonio, the San Jose mission, and some stuff at the Alamo, where the parts where you can film. And let's say we did a cemetery there where the woman was buried inside of her car.
Wow.
And that's how she wanted to be buried, was inside of her car. And then we have a Devil's Den from down there in San Antonio that we're going to be posting. But we've got a couple of collabs coming up. We've got a collab coming up with Rooted Expedition this weekend. And then in a couple of weekends, we have Laney's big 21st birthday extravaganza out at Brown Springs.
Ooh.
So she chose to celebrate her birthday Bigfoot hunting. So we're going to go do all that. And so, yeah, we've got a couple of collabs coming up. And then we're definitely have a lot of different investigations that we're going to be working on.
Very good. Very good. Well, I guess if no one else have any questions, we'll get ready to wrap this up. I want to thank Amy, Laney for being up here, and Cody, even though we didn't hear Cody tonight. But we know he's there. Yeah. Definitely. And again, we send our condolences for your fur baby, and we
thank you.
Send our love to you. And guys, go check out Amy. She's got, if you haven't, I'm sure a lot of you have. But if people come in and watch this later, you don't know what the paranormal is, you need to know what the paranormal is. So I'll have the link in the description here in a little bit. You can check it out. Next week, let me get this out real quick. Sunday, I will be doing the investigation / a small podcast type thing. Next Wednesday, I won't be on. We have a very busy week coming up starting Tuesday with some stuff going on. So no podcast next Wednesday. The following Wednesday, which is, I believe, the 7th, Bama Explorations will be up as our guest then. So I can't wait to do that. I waited all week to get Amy. Now I got to wait 2 weeks for Bama.
2 weeks.
And I'm going to try to get some more guests. And when we don't have guests, I'll just have, certain things we'll talk about. If Amy wants to come up or Bama or whatever, we can just chit chat. But anyway, I'll just talk about experiences and places, I've been and stuff. So the podcast, I'm doing it the best way I can, and I'm hoping everybody's enjoying it. And yeah, I guess that's it for the night, guys. So thank you all for being in chat. Be back on Sunday night, and I love you all, and good night.
Good night, everyone. Thank you, Troy.
Oh, you're welcome. Can't wait to have you back.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
All right. We'll see y'all later. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.